back to the Peoria Civic Center here in Peoria, Illinois. There you get a good look at the Virginia Giant sitting on the other side of the cars as we get set to go racing here with the Monster Truck Challenge as we work our way towards what we call the King of the Hill. Now here's how we score the King of the Hill. 60 points for first, and then it progressively goes back down from that all the way down to fourth since we have 4 trucks with us here tonight. But they'll score points in 2 different events tonight, Mike.
They're going to score points in the obstacle course. We'll take those points from the obstacle course, and then after the drag racing has completed, we'll take the points from the drag racing, and it is the same setup that you see here. Add those together and be King of the Hill. Now, theoretically, a man could have some problems in the obstacle course. Win the drag racing, be King of the Hill. You don't have to win both of them, but it sure would help.
And this is important because it sets you up for a bye when we get to the final event of the year, which is at Indianapolis, the big event, the Super Bowl for these guys. The only guy who is qualified for the bye so far is Dragon Slayer from last week in Des Moines.
And he's not here tonight, but we've got a lot of good trucks. Take a look at the course route. This is a little bit different. You leave together. Each one of them is going opposite directions. They go over the first set of cars in a chase situation. Then you go around a big pole on the end of it. The other set of cars, you'll actually leave on this set of cars. For instance, Sampson will leave on this set of cars, and when he finishes, it will be on the same set of cars. He'll go around the arena, and that's why they call it the obstacle course. We got a lot of obstacles tonight.
Absolutely. This will be the first form of competition. It is not anything but single elimination. You either win and move on, or you lose and you go to the loser's bracket. We will have a consolation race in the loser's bracket in this division, of course, because we'll have to see who gets third.
Third and fourth, and those points will be very important. You know, third place is super good. There's Theo Wilson out of Winchester, Virginia. Runs a body shop in Winchester, Virginia. This guy started out in truck pulling. Had the Virginia Giant in truck pulling. Later on converted over, went to monster trucks, and has been very successful. The motor in this truck is built by one of the most famous AA gas people in America, Ohio George Montgomery. I mean, he's just a legend in drag racing.
Absolutely, and of course the other truck building up to legendary status, the first of the 3D trucks, Sampson.
I like Dan Patrick's truck. It handles extremely well. Big, bad, blown Hemi in the back of it. Dan has got a lot of technology in the truck, and he really, really tweaks the truck well. Changed the fuel pump on it, put a fresh fuel pump on it from last week. He was disappointed he didn't win last week. He told me later on that he ran the truck after the fuel pump changed. This truck hooked. He said, Mike, 2 passes. I was on the concrete with this truck leaving the starting line. So he's building just buku of horsepower, a lot of horsepower tonight in Sampson.
Well, I think the thing that is interesting is the fact that Ohio George Montgomery is as well known to motors, and of course Dan Patrick is that well known when it comes to chassis for these monster trucks. You know, if you like what you're seeing here on TNN tonight, you've got to see the USA Motorsports Show in person. Now, 2 weeks from now, those of you in Portland, Oregon, and Denver, Colorado, will get a chance to do just that. January 31st through February 2nd, the Monster Truck Challenge will be at the Portland Rose Garden and the Denver Coliseum. Make sure you come on out and catch the USA Motorsports live and in person. I guarantee you, you will not be disappointed. Well, we are just moments away from getting underway with our first race of the night. Who do you like in this one?
Oh, don't put me on the bubble like that, but no doubt about it, I think I'm going to have to go to the Sampson truck. Ran this course last week, changed the motor just a little bit, did a couple of burnouts a while ago, just checking the track and kind of getting the cars prepped, and it showed a lot of horsepower right off the line.
The other thing about this, if you're watching monster truck racing for the first time, this is a pretty busy cockpit as you get a look at it right there. The drivers not only steer from the front, but from the back.
And this is a two-handed situation. Most of the drivers steer with the right hand, and then over on the left side of the truck, and this is just some of the drivers, left side, whichever makes them comfortable, there's a toggle switch. Lean it forward, the tires will turn to the back, right in the back. Lean it the other way, they'll turn to the left. It is a situation where you're steering the front and the back of it. And if you don't do that, you're not going to be able to get around these curves that we've got here tonight, the very tight courses that we have. That's Dale Wilson with his big Ohio George Montgomery Ford motor. Dale is, you mentioned it, in the paint and body business. That's why you're going to see a truck as pretty as his. It is beautiful. Well, that is the sound that we've been waiting on, Ralph. It's horsepower time.
Those big alcohol motors starting to come to life as we get set to go with the first round of obstacle course racing. We've got 2 Fords and 2 Chevys. The Virginia Giant, of course, one of the big Ford F-250s, a 1995 edition. Neil Wilson's machine, and then Dan Patrick out there with the big Samson Chevy.
Now the Patrick is ready to go.
Now they both came out and packed down a little bit in the first car. Both rolled up a couple of times to get the launching pad set to go.
Well, you said it right, Ralph. The launching pad it is. They'll be airborne off the first car. They will clear all 5 cars, and then they need to land the tires down. Neil Wilson leads just a little bit. Sampson out in front. Sampson's got about half the truck on him. Neil's having some problems. The truck just not running the way it should. Picking up the left front tire.
He's got all kinds of problems for Neil Wilson and the big Virginia Giant, and it looks like Sampson is going to easily move on now to round number 2 and a shot at the win here in the obstacle course of those very important 60 points.
Dan Patrick would love to win this. It would take part of the pressure of it. Here's Sampson. He turns, great turn, a little bit of horsepower, a lot of air. I think at that time he sees that Neil's in trouble. Neil is down at the other end of the track. I think Dan sees he's in trouble. He backs out, just lands real easy.
So the big biceps will move on to the final round of the obstacle course. And who will he match up against? Now there you see it, that big blue Ford, Bigfoot. It is known throughout the world. It is the thing that got monster trucks going and really brought them to the forefront. This truck is as well known around the world as just about any race car on the planet.
Okay, Ralph, I drove Bigfoot 4.
Not very well, I'm sure.
Well, I thought that I flew over the car. I didn't, but I did get over the car.
Well, I guarantee you it's going to fly here tonight.
It will fly here tonight. They got great driver. Dan Runte sits in the seat on this truck, and Gary Saline is here. He's the horsepower builder for this truck. There's a truck out of Springfield, Tennessee. It's all Chevrolet front to back. This young man, privateer, but really does a great job with it. He's tough. He really is tough.
There's a good look at the equalizer. The stats on this big truck, 540 cubic inches, pumping out 1,400 horsepower, living on alcohol.
Takes just a little bit longer to warm an alcohol motor up. You want to run them just a little bit warm. A gas motor, you run cool, it builds more horsepower. Got to get these motors warm. It's cold outside. They've been inside for a while, but it still takes some time to warm them up. Runte out in front. Now let's see what happens. This is really close at this time. Very, very close. Now the turn. I believe equalizer's in the lead.
Can you believe that?
Rattle the rafters. I think we have had an upset.
That is huge. Equalizer has put it to Bigfoot. And I guarantee you Dan Patrick got a big sigh of relief out of that.
Oh, no doubt about that. But here's the thing about it. They're going to be down tweaking it. They got to go again in just a few minutes. They definitely want to run third. They're going to have to come back and run the Virginia Giant.
Well, I'll tell you what, Mike, he got around the first corner good.
But he missed as far as the cars. The truck goes over the cars. See how it lands with the side of it down. I think that hurt him. Then it comes off. It bounces a little bit. He can't get around the cars the way we would like to. Here's the finish. White pole in the middle. And what is that? Truck link he beat him?
He got smoked, to put it blankly.
What a great finish.
Wow. So Bigfoot will go on to the Consi round of the obstacle course. Arena Cross getting set to come out. The motorcycles making their way out onto the arena floor.